Hey there everyone, Hitesh here, back again with another video, and welcome to the video in which I'll walk you through that how you can actually set up Flutter on your system, as well as some of the resources which you should really know. If you're watching this video, definitely there are chances that you want to get started with Flutter. So there are some free resources from where you can get templates, learn a lot about things on your own. There is no tutorial for that. There is a great resource for that. A little bit unconventional, but it's a fantastic resource. So all in all, this video is going to help you a lot. I just realized that on this channel, we have a separate video for the Windows users in case you want to set up Mac for that. So there's a separate video for that. If you're on a Mac and you want to set up Flutter and want to know some of the resources, this is the video for you. So let's go ahead and get started without a further ado. I'll walk you through with the steps of what you should follow to set up Flutter on your system with absolutely no hiccups, as well as where are the caveat points which you should take care for. Let's go ahead and get started with this one. So first of all, let me share the screen. So this is where you will find yourself once you simply go ahead and work on with. So this is for Windows, Mac and Linux. Already have gone through with the instructions of how to set up everything onto Windows. This one is Mac and there is a right straightforward caveat here. So it says here is the system requirement, nothing too much. Disk operating system, they are pretty basic. And also it recommends that you should have Git installed in case you are any kind of developer, no matter what tech you work on. I'm pretty sure you work with Git. If not, right now is the good time to actually work on your Git skills. And here's the first hiccup. It actually asks you that, hey, I want to install Rosetta. So this is something which you should do if you are on an Apple Silicon Mac, but there is a problem, there is an issue. If I go ahead and copy the code and let me fire up my terminal, and here is my terminal. If I paste this up, here's the first hiccup. By the time I'm recording this video, which is latest, it actually copies this copy and save share. I don't know, it's probably an honest mistake from the developer who are working on the website. It shouldn't be like that. So go ahead and remove this. Don't just blindly copy paste this. So this is the one which is the actual command, but it actually obviously come through. Anyways, I'm pretty sure these guys will fix this up as soon as possible. So go ahead and hit and enter. This is the first step. After that, you have to download the Flutter SDK. It's available for regular Mac as well as for the Apple Silicon. So I just downloaded this one. And then you simply unzip and export the path. Here are some of the caveats I would love to walk you through. So first of all, let's just say if I go into, I do have a folder where I have kept everything. So there is a folder name as developer. And if I go ahead and do an ls, this is where Flutter is. It was in the zip format. I unzipped it, really simple, double click and unzip, nothing too much fancy in that. Then you can go into the Flutter and you'll see some of the content like this. And once you are here, you actually should be going in one more folder, which is known as bin. So this is the folder which is for our interest. So we'll go into the bin. And now you can press the command pwd, which stands for present working directory. And this is the most important path. So go ahead, copy it on the clipboard or wherever you like. You need this exact path. Now, once you have this path, this is what they mention is you need to actually export path and then this whole path, which is what we have in this case. So in our case, we don't need to use this backticks and PWDs and all of that. So I'll just copy this and show you what does it mean by that. So in our case, since we know the exact path, we can actually modify this command and again, copy and share. I don't know how and why this is a common mistake at every single place at the time of this recording, but I'm pretty sure it will go away. What we can do is we don't need to write this PWD and all of that. We can actually replace it with this entire flow. So just go ahead and here, just remove this and here just write this one. So in my case, it is users, and then there is Apple, which is my system name. And then there is a developer and then there is a Flutter, obviously bin at the end. But there is a problem. If we export this path like this, it will work till you restart your system or maybe some paths are being manipulated in your system. So this is not a foolproof solution. So it is not mentioned up here. They directly says, hey, run the Flutter SDK, but I'll walk you through with another foolproof solution so that it permanently adds a path in your system, which is the most important thing. So let's go into, and by the way, just go ahead and press CD on your system. This will take you onto your home directory. So technically you will be in your /users/ whatever your computer name is. In this, if you press ls-la, which is a long listing for all the files, which are even hidden files on your system. And what we are looking up for here is a file which is known as ZSH. I also have a ZSH swap file. You don't need that. You will not have probably, but this is the file where we are interested in, ZSHRC. You can open that up in any text editor if you wish. I'll be using the classic Vim in this case for no good reason. .zshrc. And if I open this up, because I have a swap file as well, I'll just press O to open this up. And here are all of my path variable that you should be worried about. The most important one is actually this one, Flutter, and this is actually a comment. Hash means comment, and this is a Flutter path. So this says export path, and notice here the exact same command which we discussed. This is how you should keep it. Now, once you have this, this means half of the work is done. To escape from it or from this mode, escape : and just press Q so that you actually quitted this out. So there we go. Now, what will happen once you are done with this, you have to reload your shell or your script. So the best way or easiest way to do it is just close this and start a new shell, so new window, and that's it. So it actually repopulates all the environment variable so that you can properly go ahead and walk through. Now, so far we have installed just the Flutter, and now you should be technically be able to run the command Flutter, and there is a command known as Flutter doctor. Flutter doctor, and this actually go ahead and analyze your all things, like how much of the more work needs to be done in order to properly build application with Flutter. Remember, Flutter can build application for a variety of things like Chrome, Android, VS Code, not VS Code, Chrome, Android. So it's a web, mobile, 2 versions of mobile, and bunch of other things you can do with that. In my case, you'll see that all the toolchains and everything are there, but in your case, it will definitely give you error, just like it has given me error on Xcode. Xcode is a pretty heavy software. I don't want to keep it in my system. I'm not much worried about testing my apps in iOS as well, but if I want, I can just install this. What will give you some of the issues are actually the second phase of it, which is having the Android version. So this whole thing, we don't need to worry much about it. This actually works fine, nice. We don't need to worry on that. iOS, if you install Xcode and just run these commands, means you want to install the Xcode select tools. That's it. It does the whole job. You might additionally need to install pods, but we're not here to talk much about that. I want to take you on to the Android side of the things because that's where things actually go a little bit crazy. So on the Android setup, if you go ahead and install the Android, you cannot just work with it directly. There is no chance it will do it automatically for you. All that it says, just install it, run Flutter Doctor, it will just confirm the Android licenses. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to add additional environment variables, which it looks for, and there is no mention of it. So this is where actually things goes a little bit crazy. So I'll just go ahead and fire up my Android Studio, which I have installed. So here is my Android Studio, probably on the new screen. Okay, in this, you want to go on to this action and go into SDK Manager. And on your SDK Manager at the top, I hope you can see this. This is where the whole path is being mentioned. Go ahead and copy this entire path. You can actually click on SDK Tools as well. The same exact path is there. This is where actually your Android is installed, not on your traditional application folder or something like that. You need this path. Without this, things are not going to work. So once you have this path, and obviously before actually having that, you need one more thing. So I'll just walk you through first with this one, and then we'll actually walk through it one more time. So if I go ahead and open up Vim ZSHRC, you'll notice that I also have the OpenJDK installed. So you need OpenJDK 11 in order to make sure the Flutter works. And there are a lot of ways how you can grab the OpenJDK 11. I did it with the Homebrew, so Homebrew added the paths for me. But again, I'll just walk you through with the Google search. All you want to do is OpenJDK 11 download. And there are a lot of ways how you can do this. In fact, OpenLogic gives you one. You can also do it via the Homebrew as well. And you can just search for it. Homebrew, that's the easiest one. I found that. There is a formula for it. So you can just go ahead and run one command, brew install OpenJDK. It does install it and even set up the path for it. If it doesn't set up the path, you can actually go ahead and always set path like this. Not really the best one, but this is kind of a must-have. So this is one. In case you are not happy with this, you can go with the OpenJDK as well. And they also give you this, and you have to set up the path. By the time it installs it, it actually mentioned that. I usually prefer Homebrew. It's really nice. So I just installed it via the Homebrew, and that's why you see that I have this OpenJDK paths being set up from the Homebrew. Now, next thing, which is the most important thing, which is not mentioned almost anywhere. What you have to do is, first and foremost, you have to locate the Android home path. This tilde means the home directory, which is in this case. So let me just open up another tab. So I'll just say, give me a new tab. So when you go ahead and do CD and hit enter and then you write PWD, this is your tilde. By the way, you can see the tilde sign here. So this is tilde represents /user/Apple or whatever your computer name is. So in this case or our case, we are saying that, hey, in our home directory, there is /user/Apple, in your case /user/your computer name, or you can just say tilde. So this is where your library is. It's common for everyone. And you can just simply say /library/Android and /SDK. This is most important thing. I don't know how many people have actually messaged me, pinged me that our things don't work because Flutter actually looks for this Android home path. Now, once you're done with this, you also need to export some environment variable for these paths as well, specifically the platform tools and the SDK. And by the way, the path is exactly same. In the tilde, just say / and then you can simply say Android SDKs and Android SDK tools. These tools are automatically installed in your system. Once you install the Android Studio, you don't need to install them manually. One recommendation more. Once you actually have this Android Studio, just go ahead and install these Android SDK build tools and whatever the things from here itself. I have noticed that some people who just don't want entire Android Studio, they just want to have the SDK tools or platform tools. They try to manually install that and it's a nightmare. You really don't want to do this, especially in the case when you're trying to learn something. So again, make sure you set up your Flutter path. You make sure you set up your OpenJDK path. Without this path, there's no chance it is going to work on Android. And then simply go ahead and 3 variables are most important. First one is Android home. This needs to be done exactly this way, not the pathway. It looks for the specific keyword here. After this, these are the common paths. Go ahead, take screenshot. I'll zoom this probably. If you wish, I can zoom this. Go ahead, take a screenshot. This is exactly what you want. These are all my other configuration for fun stuff that I keep on doing that. But again, you got the idea. Okay, once we are here, so let's go ahead and quit this one. So we are here. Okay, once you are done with this, now, once you go ahead and do this Flutter Doctor, things will work fine for you. So Flutter Doctor. And then you will see that, hey, now things are good. If the things are not good, maybe you need to accept some Android licenses or something. It will prompt you that, hey, go ahead, run this command and accept the licenses. You have to just press Y in that. So it's good. So in my system, as of now, the Flutter channel is stable. It's the most modern one. I have Android toolchain being set up. So Android SDK version, whatever that is good. I'm not worried about Xcode. If I am, I can just go ahead and install it. I'm not in the mood to do so. And then you can simply go ahead and work with the Chrome, Android Studio, because Chrome is there, VS Code is also there, and connected with 2 devices and all of that. So by the way, the Flutter Doctor command, eventually I'll walk you through with that, also shows you that how you can find and all of these. So by the way, this is the command for Flutter Doctor Android licenses. It just runs a bunch of stuff. You just have to say yes, yes, yes. I'm not sure if this one is also giving us some errors. Let's just try it out. Yeah, it needs some. Somebody informed the Flutter devs that, hey, there's a small minor issue. Could you fix that up? Use my videos in that. Now, once you are there, there is one more thing which I would like to discuss. Since you are here at this phase that you want to learn Flutter, let me give you a free resource. And again, this is going to prove a lot of fantastic, really great stuff. And you will enjoy this a lot. So if you are building Flutter application, obviously you'll be building a lot of Flutter UIs. You'll be building a lot of Flutter screen. How about we get some of the free screens? So that is also a great resource so that you can focus more on learning rather than just the UI part. So there's this company known as Dhiwise, which I recently got to know about. And again, it's free. I'll do a sign up. Actually, I'll do a sign in because I've already done a sign in. And this is where you can actually grab a lot of applications and screen. Let me show you how does it work. It actually is fantastic and probably it is going to be future of how you build your Flutter application. They actually are not a non-code platform. They are actually a code-friendly platform. If you know code or if you are interested in learning the code, then this is a great platform. It's not a no-code tool or a no-code platform. Just click on the new application and then you can simply say create from templates and this is where the magic happens. Notice here on the left-hand side how many of them are there. Actually, you can just give them your own Figma design and they will just create and convert that into code. Their AI and machine learning is super, super impressive. They just detect these elements and components pretty nicely and convert them into widgets, Flutter widgets that you can use. You can see that healthcare applications, if you want a healthcare, notice the number of screens that are there. Maybe you want to build a blog application. Maybe you are learning how to build a blog application. So you don't want to focus too much of how the things you have gotten the knowledge with how to build the widgets and stuff. Now you want to focus on the business logic part of it, how to handle APIs, how to send data, receive data. This could be a great resource for that. You can see all the things are already being pre-built for you. Once you are here at this phase, you can just focus on building all these things. By the way, if you want, you can actually use any template. Let's just use the blog template. I'll click on use, and this one will be a blog app. By the way, they support a couple of other things as well. So if you'll just drop down Flutter, Android, iOS, obviously we'll go with the Flutter and create the app. And once you create this, and again, by the way, no credit card, nothing. It's just all free. And they have detected this many of the widgets. So all these things which we saw, like input boxes, the button which says login with the Google and all of that. So they have detected all of that. They even give you briefly a list of, if you want, you can check them out. But I know, I'll just move forward. It has also generated a flash screen or splash screen, which simply says, hey, this is a branding, and then it moves onto the screen. So I'll just say, hey, after this, let's go on to the sign in page. And you can skip this part if you wish, but I'll just do that so that it does the wiring for me so that I can tap on the button and click on the new pages and whatnot. Now here, if you wish, you can go ahead and edit these things. Like for example, you don't like home, you want to call it as my home. You can do that. You can go on to the styling part, and this is where they have the strings, and you can just search for it. So for example, I want to call this one as home. I don't like home. I'll just go ahead and call this one as my home. So this is a way of how you do internationalization of the app. So I want to call it as my home. Go back onto the UI, it says my home. So any other text or anything that you don't like, you can go ahead and change this up, and you can just choose how does it look on different phones. iPhone 14, maybe Samsung Galaxy. This is how it looks. What else? Android large, OnePlus 8 Pro. That's nice. You can just go ahead and try that. You can try on different screens. How does my sign-in screen looks like? In the real time, it does you the experience of that. And my whole point is that it actually detects a component of how the things are going to be there, each component, search box, and all of that. And it saves you so much of the time because obviously you will be also making this. After that, all you have to do is click on the build app, and you can actually use state management. Since you are a beginner right now in the Flutter, you obviously will be needing them. But if you just want to give them a try or want to just have the only widgets so that you manually want to inject them, just like you have downloaded from any third-party app, you can just click on that, or let's just use a block, which actually will enable the navigation as well, and just click on the blog build. Now this one obviously is going to take a couple of seconds. It's usually not a big long process, but I'll just keep it. Okay, still just 1%. I will wait for here. Oh, now it's taken up the speed. 16%, 29%. Fairly a decent speed. Oh, that's crazy fast. Okay, so let's just wait. It's packaging the entire project, so it shows you the entire steps, what it's taking and how the applications are being designed. Everything application structure is given to you, and there we go. Our application is almost ready. And now, as you can see, it looks like almost like Android Studio. And now if you want to continue further, you can actually continue further here as well, or on the right hand bottom sign, you can just click on download, and you can download the entire source code. So imagine all these templates for you are available absolutely for free, and you can download them, practice with them, or at least see how they have built the application and try to build it on your own as well, so that at least you try. So go ahead and just use this resource, or you can just use GitHub and everything. So this can help you to speed up your process of how you build your Flutter application. So I hope it actually gives you an idea. So in this video, I wanted to give you just an idea of how to install the Flutter, what are the caveat points which you should take care of, and further how you can use some of the resources to download the apps and start your journey as a Flutter developer. Hope this video was helpful for you. If it was helpful, just put down a comment section that yes, it was helpful. I would truly appreciate that. That's it for this video, and let's catch up in the next one.